Hello, welcome to my garden here at Glebe Cottage. I'm Carol Klein and I want to share with you the sort of things that I'm doing day by day in my garden here. Everything's in full flower at the moment, so there's lots and lots of deadheading to do. There are still spaces here and there, so I need to be planting a few things. I've got masses of stuff here that's just waiting to go in. And it's a great time to be taking cuttings. There's a bit of pruning to do too, and sometimes I feel as though I need to employ a machete in some parts of my garden. It's difficult to keep up with. I'm growing veg too, growing some in a small plot to see how many edibles plus ornamentals, beautiful flowers, I can fit just into a small square. And as well, I'm growing potatoes, lots and lots of them. Meanwhile, all those things that climb, runner beans and sweet peas in particular. It's a daily privilege to go out there with a pair of scissors and cut those sweet peas and bring them into the house. Is there anything that says summer better than sweet peas? So this is one of my veg beds. I've got these great big troughs for growing vegetables in as well, but this is the main area I use for growing veg. One big bed here and another one raised up at the back. I've got all sorts of things crammed in here. We've got masses of parsley. I've got peas here, which I'm waiting for my grandchildren to be able to eat when they come. And I've got tomatoes. Planted one actually into the ground and put one in a pot, and the roots will go down right into the ground underneath there. So it'll be almost exactly the same as being planted out. Then we've got loads of flowers in here, because why not mix the two of them together? And there are squashes and sweet corn behind. So everything's pretty productive, including this apple. It's the only apple I've ever grafted, and it's doing really well. It's a sort of espalier, but a very informal one at that. But the fruit is really swelling brilliantly. I think it's going to be such a good year for harvest. We've been here for 47 years or so. And when we initially came, this was a true wasteland. And I had all sorts of wonderful ideas about great sweeping lawns and wonderful flower beds. And it's turned out to be nothing like that at all. And what I realised was, because we're on such a slope, it was a really good idea to try and separate the garden into pieces and make several terraces right the way down, especially on this sunny side of the garden. So this is one of them, and it was probably the first. It's called a brick garden, simply because all the paths are actually made of bricks. But its colour scheme is purportedly blue and yellow. We don't chuck things out if they don't quite fit in, but it's nice to have some sort of colour theme to work to. Of course, the main colour in here, every season apart from the winter, is green. We've got masses of grasses, loads of them, including this one. This is one of my favourites. It's Hackana. I just love the way it wafts around. On a breezy day, there's so much movement in this part of the garden. I love these heleniums. This is one called Eldorado. There are self-seeded blues too, like this lovely Campanula trachelium. And then later there are going to be masses and masses of rudbeckia and asters, Michaelmas daisies in soft blues. Further down the garden, I've got two gardens that are sort of named after my daughters. One is Alice's garden. That's the first one you get to over the other side of the box hedge. And in that garden, I've got plants which flower with the kind of colours that Alice really loves. So lots of white, lots of pink, crimson. And then beyond that, a step down and a different terrace, is Annie's garden. And that's a bit more dramatic. There are roses all the way across. It's one rose, it's William Lobb. And there would be more of them this year, except we've had deer in the garden and they've eaten the top off a load of them. But thankfully they couldn't reach everything, so there's still plenty of colour down there. And there it's more magenta and purples and some blues too. Still on this sunny side of the garden, there are 2 more beds below Annie and Alice's. But then you come to an oak fence, and on the other side of that lies the shed garden. Well, here I am in the middle of the shed garden. Called that simply because this is where the shed is. And this is a series of raised beds that run right the way down this part of the garden, full of all sorts of herbaceous stuff. There's nothing shrubby in here at all. So it changes dramatically right the way through the seasons. We've got phlox and campanulas all just beginning their show. So it's going to go on right the way into the autumn. One different aspect of this garden is that there's a roof garden. At least the top of the shed is planted up. All sorts of stuff up there. I haven't been up for ages, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. But I know that the birds and the bees absolutely love it. I hope you've enjoyed this brief visit to my garden. Watch out for lots more in the future.